Welcome to Nordic Sleep Tales. This is your place to slow down, to breathe, and to rest for a while. You don't have to do anything now. You don't have to fix anything or think about anything. Just let the night hold you. Let the quiet of the north surround you. You are safe here. You are warm, and you can let go. Completely. Settle in, breathe softly, and let me guide you into a peaceful night. Your story begins now. The air is cold, not harsh, not biting, just cold, clean and sharp in your lungs, the kind of cold that makes you aware of every breath. It's early evening, and the light has already faded into that deep winter blue that settles over the north this time of year. The sun set hours ago, and now the world exists in shades of blue and gray and white. You're walking along a narrow path. Snow crunches softly beneath your boots. Each step presses down into fresh powder, and the sound is gentle, rhythmic. Step, crunch, step, crunch. It's the only sound for miles, it seems. Everything else is still. To your left, through the dark shapes of pine trees, you can see the fjord. It's vast and quiet, a mirror of dark water reflecting what little light remains in the sky. The mountains on the far side rise like sleeping giants, their peaks lost in low clouds. There's no wind tonight. The water is perfectly calm. The path curves slightly upward, following the edge of the forest. You can see your destination now, just ahead. A small cabin sits nestled among the trees, about 50 meters from the water's edge. Warm light glows in the windows, soft, golden, inviting. Ding-dong. Someone has been here before you. Someone has made this place ready. Your shoulders relax, just seeing it. You've been walking for a while, and the cold has settled into your cheeks and fingertips, but it's a good cold. The kind that makes warmth feel like a gift. The kind that makes you grateful for shelter. As you get closer, you notice the details. The cabin is small, built from dark timber that's weathered beautifully over the years. Snow sits thick on the roof, undisturbed except for a thin ribbon of smoke rising from the stone chimney. The windows are divided into small panes, and through them you can see the flicker of firelight. There's a small porch at the front, just 2 steps up from the snow. A neat stack of firewood sits protected under the overhang, and beside the door hangs an old lantern, its candle already lit. The light dances gently, casting warm shadows on the wooden walls. You pause at the bottom of the steps, just for a moment, to take it all in, to let your breathing settle, to feel the quiet. The forest behind you is completely still. No birds at this hour, no wind rustling the branches. Just the soft presence of the trees, standing patient in the darkness. The snow on their branches catches what little light there is, making them seem almost luminous. And the fjord just breathes. You can feel it there, vast and ancient and calm, holding the valley, holding the night. You climb the 2 steps to the porch. The wood is solid beneath your feet. You reach for the door handle, cold iron, smooth and simple, and press down. The door opens easily, swinging inward on well-oiled hinges. Warmth spills out to meet you. Not a wave of heat, but a gentle, welcoming warmth that touches your face first, then seems to wrap around you as you step inside. You close the door behind you, softly, and stand for a moment in the entrance. It's one room, just as you expected. Simple, perfect. Directly ahead, a stone fireplace takes up most of the far wall, and a fire is burning steadily. Real wood, crackling quietly. The flames are orange and gold, dancing over the logs, and the light fills the room with a soft glow. Above the fireplace, a single wooden beam runs across, dark and solid, and on it rests nothing but a small worn clock that ticks so quietly you almost don't hear it. To your left, there's a wooden table with two chairs, both simple and sturdy. On the table sits a candle in a brass holder, already lit. Beside it, someone has left a ceramic bowl, empty but beautiful in its simplicity. To your right, built into the wall, is a bench with deep cushions covered in wool blankets, thick, warm, in muted colors of gray and cream. Above the bench, a small window looks out toward the fjord. You can see the water from here, dark and still. And against the right wall, in the corner, there's a bed. It's simple, made up with white linens and a thick down duvet. More wool blankets are folded at the foot. Two pillows rest against the headboard. And beside the bed is a small table with another candle. The floor is wide wooden planks, covered here and there, with woven rugs in traditional patterns. Everything is clean. Everything is cared for. There's a smell in the air. Wood smoke, yes, but also something else. Pine, perhaps, or maybe it's just the scent of the forest that's come in with you. You begin to remove your outer layers. First, your gloves. You pull them off slowly, finger by finger, and set them on the bench. Your hands are cold, but they'll warm soon. Then your scarf, wool, soft, from years of use, unwound carefully and laid beside the gloves. Your coat next, heavy and protective, dusted with snow that's already beginning to melt in the warmth. You hang it on a hook by the door. Your boots are last. You unlace them, taking your time, and step out of them onto the wooden floor. Even through your socks, you can feel how solid the floor is, how real. You place the boots neatly by the door, side by side. And now you're here, fully inside, fully present. You walk slowly toward the fireplace. The heat grows warmer with each step, and you can feel it reaching through your clothes, touching your skin, beginning to thaw the cold that's settled into your bones. You stand in front of the fire for a moment, just watching, just being. The logs are thick, burning from the inside out. The bark is charred black, but where it's split open, the wood glows red and orange, pulsing with heat. Small flames lick upward, blue at the base, then yellow, then disappearing into the darkness of the chimney. Every few seconds, the fire pops softly, and a small shower of sparks rises and fades. There's something hypnotic about it, something ancient. Fire has always meant safety, warmth, home. You lower yourself into the chair closest to the fireplace. It's wooden, with a curved back and a woven seat that's been worn smooth by use. As you sit, the chair creaks slightly. Not weakly, but in that way old furniture does, as if it's acknowledging your presence. You rest your hands on your knees and take a slow, deep breath. The warmth is reaching you now. Your cheeks begin to tingle as the cold leaves them. Your fingers, resting on your knees, start to feel less stiff. You can feel your shoulders dropping, releasing tension you didn't even know you were holding. Outside, through the small window to your right, you can just see the edge of the fjord. The darkness is almost complete now, but the water still holds a faint shimmer, reflecting the last traces of light from somewhere beyond the mountains. It's so quiet. Not silent. Silence can be uncomfortable, empty. This is quiet, full of small, gentle sounds. The fire crackling, the clock on the mantel ticking its slow, steady rhythm. Your own breathing, gradually slowing to match the pace of this place. There's no rush here, no urgency. Time moves differently in places like this. It stretches out, becomes soft and elastic. Minutes feel longer. Hours lose their edges. You have all the time in the world. You lean back in the chair, letting your head rest against the wood. The fire continues its gentle dance. You watch the flames shift and change, never the same twice, but always familiar. Orange to gold to deep red, then back again. After a while, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 20. You notice a kettle sitting on an iron hook that swings over the fire. It's old-fashioned, made of dark metal, and it's positioned just close enough to the flames to stay warm. You realize you'd like something to drink. Something warm. You stand slowly, feeling how your body has already begun to relax, and move to the small kitchen area, tucked against the back wall. It's minimal: a wooden counter, a shelf above it, a basin for water. On the shelf, you find a few simple mugs, a tin of tea, a jar of honey that catches the firelight. You take one of the mugs. It's ceramic, heavy in your hand, glazed in a deep blue-gray. You open the tin of tea, and the scent rises immediately, something herbal, calming. Chamomile, perhaps, with hints of something else. Mint, lavender. Using a cloth to protect your hand, you carefully lift the kettle from its hook. The water inside is perfectly hot, steaming but not boiling. You pour it slowly into the mug, watching as the tea leaves swirl and begin to steep, turning the water a pale golden color. You add a small spoonful of honey, watching it sink and then slowly dissolve as you stir. The spoon clinks softly against the ceramic. Carrying the mug carefully, you return to your chair by the fire. The warmth of the tea seeps through the ceramic into your palms. You hold it there for a moment before taking your first sip. It's perfect. Warm and gentle, not too sweet, with that calming herbal quality that seems to spread through your chest as you swallow. You settle deeper into the chair, cradling the mug in both hands. The fire continues to burn. The clock continues to tick. The night continues to hold the cabin in its gentle embrace. You are exactly where you need to be. Nothing requires your attention. Nothing waits for you. There are no tasks, no obligations, no thoughts that need thinking. There is only this moment, this warmth, this quiet. You take another sip of tea, then another. Each one a small ritual of comfort. Your eyes grow soft as you watch the fire. Your breathing deepens naturally without effort. The warmth has reached all the way through you now. Your toes are warm in your socks. Your back is warm where it rests against the chair. Even the air you breathe feels warm as it enters your lungs. Outside, the winter night continues. The fjord lies calm and dark. The mountains stand their ancient watch. The forest holds its silence. But in here, in this small cabin with its glowing fire and soft candlelight, everything is exactly as it should be. You are safe. You are warm. You are held by this place, by this moment, by the simple and profound gift of shelter and rest. And you can stay here as long as you need. There's no rush at all. The tea is nearly finished now. Just a few last sips remain in the bottom of the mug, still warm enough to comfort, but no longer steaming. You drink them slowly, not wanting to rush this small pleasure. When the mug is empty, you set it down gently on the floor beside your chair. The ceramic makes a soft sound against the wood, a quiet click that's absorbed immediately by the stillness. You stretch slightly in your chair. Not because you're uncomfortable, but because your body wants to move just a little, to shift and settle even deeper into this rest. You roll your shoulders back, feeling the muscles ease. You flex your fingers, which are now completely warm, all traces of cold long gone. The fire has burned down slightly. The logs that were whole when you arrived have now broken into glowing sections, each one pulsing with internal heat. The flames are lower now, lazier, moving in slow waves across the surface of the embers. It's time to add another log. You rise from your chair, slowly, taking your time, and move to the small basket of firewood that sits beside the hearth. The logs inside are perfectly dry, cut to size, their ends showing the growth, rings of trees that grew slowly in this northern climate. You select one, feeling its weight in your hands. It's solid, dense. It will burn for a long time. Using the iron poker that hangs beside the fireplace, you carefully shift the existing logs, making space. Then you lay the new log across them, positioning it so it will catch quickly. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, a small flame licks up the side of the new wood, testing it, and soon the bark begins to glow. Within minutes, the fire has accepted this new fuel and is burning strongly again. You replace the poker in its holder and return to your chair. But this time you don't sit immediately. Instead, you find yourself drawn to the window. You walk over to the bench built into the wall, the one covered with those thick wool blankets, and you stand before the small window that looks out toward the fjord. It's completely dark now. True night has fallen. But your eyes adjust, and gradually you begin to see. The fjord is still there, still calm. A vast presence you can feel more than see. The mountains on the far side are black shapes against a sky that's not quite black. More ofa deep, deep blue, like ink diluted with the faintest touch of water. And there are stars. Not many because there are clouds, but where the sky is clear, stars have emerged. Small points of light, steady and ancient. They don't twinkle much in the cold, dry air. They simply exist, patient witnesses to everything below. You lean slightly closer to the window. Your breath fogs the glass just a little, and you watch the condensation appear and then slowly fade. Outside, you can just make out the edge of the porch, the railing casting a thin shadow on the snow-covered ground. It would be nice to step outside for a moment, just to feel the night, just to stand in that vast quiet. You move back toward the door, where your coat still hangs. You slip it on. The fabric is warm now from being inside, and you wind your scarf around your neck again. You don't bother with gloves. You won't be out long. The door opens silently, and the cold greets you immediately. But it's different now. You're warm inside your clothes, warm from the fire and the tea, and the cold feels refreshing rather than uncomfortable, invigorating. You step out onto the porch and close the door behind you, leaving it slightly ajar so the light from inside spills out in a golden rectangle across the snow. The silence is profound, not empty, never empty, but full of the kind of quiet that only exists far from cities, far from roads, far from the constant hum of modern life. You can hear your own breathing, steady and calm. You can hear very faintly the settling of snow on branches somewhere in the forest. And underneath everything, so quiet you might be imagining it, there's the presence of the fjord. Not a sound exactly, but a sense of deep water. Ancient and patient. You walk to the edge of the porch and rest your hands on the railing. The wood is cold and slightly rough under your palms. You lean forward just a little, looking out. The world is rendered in shades of darkness. Black trees against dark blue sky. The gray-black surface of the fjord. The white of snow that seems to hold its own light somehow, glowing faintly even in the darkness. Your breath creates small clouds in the air before you. You watch them form and dissipate, form and dissipate. It's meditative somehow. Each breath visible proof that you're alive, that you're here, that you're part of this moment. Above, in a gap between clouds, you notice something. A faint shimmer. green, pale as sea foam, moving gently across the sky. The northern lights. They're subtle tonight, not the dramatic curtains you sometimes see in photographs, but a gentle wash of color that moves like slow water across the darkness. Green fading to white, then back to green. Shifting, breathing, dancing to a rhythm only they know. You watch, transfixed. The aurora moves so slowly that at first you're not even sure it's moving at all. But if you keep watching, if you let your eyes relax and simply receive rather than search, you begin to see it. The way the green deepens in one area, then fades. The way a new tendril of light reaches across the darkness like a gentle brushstroke on an infinite canvas. There's no sound to it, of course, but somehow you feel as though there should be. Something as beautiful as this should have a voice, a whisper, a hum, a note held long and pure. But there's only silence, only the visual dance of light against darkness, playing out in perfect quiet. You become aware of how still you're standing. Your hands rest motionless on the railing, no longer feeling the cold of the wood. Your breathing has slowed, deepened, falling into rhythm with something you can't quite name. Your whole body has settled into a kind of restful attention, alert but not tense, present but not striving. Simply here, simply watching. This is what it means to witness something, not to capture it, not to possess it, not even to fully understand it, but simply to be here while it happens, to let it unfold in its own time, in its own way, without trying to make it be anything other than what it is. The green brightens slightly, spreading across a wider swath of sky. It's like watching watercolors bleed across wet paper. Soft edges, gradual transitions, nothing sharp or sudden. For a moment, you think you see a hint of pink at the edges, pale as rose petals, delicate as its own light. There and then, gone so quickly, you can't be certain it was real. But real or imagined, it was beautiful. That's enough. You shift your weight slightly, settling in. Your breath continues to form small clouds in the cold air, and you watch them drift upward, dissipating into the darkness. Each exhalation becomes part of the night. Each inhalation brings the cold, clean air deep into your lungs. The lights pulse again, a gentle wave of brightness moving from left to right across your field of vision. It's like watching the surface of the sea from beneath. That same quality of light filtering through water, shifting, changing, never quite the same twice. You think about all the people who have stood in spots like this over all the centuries, long before there were cabins or roads or electric lights to compete with the darkness. Vikings, perhaps, looking up at these same lights and weaving them into their stories of gods and warriors, of bridges between worlds. Sami herders following their reindeer across the winter tundra, guided by stars and aurora, reading the sky like you might read a familiar book. Fishermen heading out in the dark morning, checking the lights, checking the sky, trusting in patterns passed down through generations. Travelers, seekers, wanderers, poets, all of them looking up, all of them witnesses to the same ancient dance. And now you, here, part of that long line of watchers. The thought doesn't make you feel small, though perhaps it should. Instead, it makes you feel connected, part of something larger, part of a pattern that stretches back through time and will continue long after you're gone. Your moment of watching is brief, a single heartbeat in the life of the mountains, the fjord, the sky, but it's real. It matters. You are here, and you are seeing this. And that simple fact connects you to everyone who has ever stood beneath this northern sky and looked up in wonder. The aurora shifts again. This time the movement is more pronounced. A curtain of light that seems to ripple, as if a gentle wind were blowing through it. Though, of course, there is no wind that high up. The effect is mesmerizing. Your eyes follow the ripples, losing themselves in the pattern and the rhythm. Time becomes strange out here. You're not sure anymore if you've been standing here for 5 minutes or 20. It doesn't matter. There's nowhere else you need to be. Nothing else calling for your attention. Just this. Just the lights. Just the cold air on your face. Just the vast, patient presence of the fjord below and the mountains beyond. You notice details now that you missed before. The way the light is reflected, ever so faintly, on the surface of the snow at your feet. The way it tints the wooden railing under your hands with the slightest hint of green. The way it changes the quality of the darkness, not illuminating it exactly, but transforming it into something richer, more complex. A memory surfaces, unbidden, something from childhood perhaps. Or maybe it's not a memory at all, but a feeling. The sense of being small into the best possible way. The kind of smallness that comes not from being diminished, but from recognizing that you're part of something much larger than yourself. It's the feeling you might have had as a child, lying in grass and looking up at clouds, or sitting on a beach, watching waves come in one after another, endless and eternal. The lights continue their dance, green deepening to emerald in places, fading to pale sea foam in others. The boundaries between the illuminated areas and the dark sky are never sharp, always soft, always transitional, always in motion. You think about the science of it. Somewhere in your mind, you know the explanation. Solar particles, magnetic fields, atmospheric gases. But knowing the mechanism doesn't diminish the wonder. If anything, it deepens it. The fact that what you're watching is the result of the sun and the earth, and the invisible forces that bind the universe together. That makes it more miraculous, not less. Your hands have gone numb on the railing, but you don't move them yet. The cold is part of this experience. It grounds you. It reminds you that you're alive, that you're physical, that you're here in this moment with your body as well as your mind. The aurora begins to fade slightly, not disappearing, but softening, as if it's preparing to rest. The green becomes paler, more transparent. The movements slow even further. You sense that this particular display is coming to a gentle close, at least for now. The lights may return later, or they may not. But for now, they're saying goodbye. You find yourself feeling grateful. Not in a forced way, not performatively, but with a quiet, genuine sense of thanks. For this moment, for this place, for the fact that you're here, now, able to witness this, that you have eyes to see, and a mind to appreciate, and a heart that can still be moved by beauty. The lights pulse one more time, a final gentle wave across the sky, and then they begin to fade in earnest. Within moments, they're barely visible, just the faintest hint of green against the clouds. And then, so gradually you can't pinpoint the exact moment it happens, they're gone. The sky returns to its previous state. Dark clouds, a few visible stars in the gaps. The blue-black darkness of a winter night. But somehow the sky doesn't feel the same as it did before. It feels charged now. Electric with possibility. As if the lights might return at any moment. Or as if they're still there. Just beyond the range of your vision. Continuing their dance in frequencies you can't perceive. You stand there a moment longer, still looking up, giving the sky a chance to surprise you again. But it remains quiet, patient, dark. Finally, you take a deep breath, deeper than the ones before, and you feel the cold truly now. It's found its way through your coat, through the warmth that you brought outside with you. Your fingers are stiff on the railing, Your cheeks are thoroughly chilled. Your nose has gone numb. But you're not suffering. You're just cold. Pleasantly, honestly cold. And now, the thought of going back inside, of returning to that warmth, feels even more appealing than it did before. You've had your moment with the night. You've stood under the aurora. You've witnessed something beautiful. You've been present for it, fully present, without distraction or division. And now, it's time to return to the warmth. To carry this moment back inside with you. To let it settle into your memory, into your bones, where it will remain long after this night has passed. You lift your hands from the railing, slowly, carefully, feeling the stiffness in your fingers. You flex them slightly, working warmth back into them. You turn away from the fjord, from the mountains, from the sky. The golden light from the cabin's open door spills across the porch, welcoming you back. It's time to go inside. There's something about the northern lights that makes you feel both very small and very connected. They remind you that you're standing on a planet that's spinning through space, that you're underneath an atmosphere that's interacting with particles from the sun, that you're part of something vast and ancient and beautiful. The lights shift and pulse. Sometimes they're barely visible. Sometimes they brighten just enough to cast the faintest tint of green on the snow at your feet. You don't know how long you stand there watching. Time has become irrelevant, but eventually the cold begins to find its way through your coat, and you realize your fingers are getting numb where they rest on the railing. It's time to go back inside. You take one last long look at the fjord, at the mountains, at the gentle aurora dancing overhead. Then you turn and open the door, stepping back into the warmth. The contrast is delicious. The fire greets you like an old friend. The candlelight seems even softer now that you've been in the darkness. You close the door firmly behind you, shutting out the cold, sealing in the warmth. You remove your coat and scarf again, hanging them back on their hook. Your cheeks are tingling from the cold, but it's pleasant. It makes the warmth feel even more precious. You notice now that there's a bookshelf you hadn't fully examined before, built into the wall beside the bed. You walk over to it, curious. The shelves hold perhaps 20 books, their spines worn and comfortable looking. You run your finger along them, reading the titles. Some are in English, some in Norwegian. There are a few novels, quiet stories you imagine, the kind that unfold slowly. There are books about nature, about the north, about traditional crafts. There's a collection of poems, the spine so creased, it's clear someone has read it many times. You select one book, almost at random. It's slim, bound in dark green cloth, with no dust jacket. The title is simple, Winter Light. You open it to a random page and find yourself reading a few lines about the quality of December daylight, about how darkness makes us appreciate illumination, about how winter teaches us to find beauty in subtlety. You carry the book back to your chair by the fire and settle in again, deeper this time, adjusting the cushion behind your back until it's perfectly comfortable. But you don't read yet. Instead, you just hold the book in your lap and watch the fire again. The new log has caught fully now and is burning with steady flames. The heat radiates out in waves that you can feel on your face and hands. The light flickers across the walls, creating dancing shadows that appear and disappear. Never the same twice. There's a particular kind of contentment that comes from being warm and safe, while knowing that outside, the world is cold and vast. It's a primal feeling, ancient, coded into human beings from thousands of years, of gathering around fires, seeking shelter, finding safety in small spaces, while the wild world continues beyond the walls. You are experiencing that feeling now, that deep, mammalian satisfaction of being protected, being warm, being at rest. Nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to change. This moment is complete exactly as it is. You open the book again and begin to read. The prose is quiet, contemplative. It matches the mood of the cabin, of the evening, of your own internal state. You read slowly, not rushing through the words, letting each sentence settle before moving to the next. The author writes about winter walks, about the sound of frozen lakes, settling into the night, about the way snow changes the acoustics of a forest. You find yourself nodding slightly as you read, recognizing these experiences, feeling connected to this writer who clearly knows this landscape, this season, this particular quality of northern peace. After several pages, your eyes begin to grow heavy. Not from boredom, the writing is lovely, but from deep relaxation. Your body is warm, your mind is quiet. The words on the page begin to blur slightly at the edges. You close the book gently and set it on the floor beside your empty tea mug. You lean your head back against the chair and close your eyes just for a moment. The fire crackles softly. The clock ticks its patient rhythm. Your breathing deepens. You're not quite sleeping, but you're not quite awake either. You're in that peaceful space between where thoughts drift, like clouds, appearing and dissolving without any effort on your part. An image comes to you. The fjord in summer, when the light lasts nearly all night, when the water reflects mountains and sky like polished glass. Then it's gone, replaced by the memory of the northern lights you just saw, that gentle green shimmer. Then that dissolves too, and there's just warmth, just breath, just the sensation of being held by this chair, by this room, by this moment. Time passes, you have no idea how much. It doesn't matter. Eventually you open your eyes again. The fire has burned down once more. The logs have broken into glowing coals, pulsing with heat, but no longer flaming. The room is dimmer now, lit mostly by the candles on the table and bedside. You feel deeply rested, even though you've only been drifting, not truly sleeping. You stand up, stretching fully this time, reaching your arms above your head, feeling your spine lengthen. Your body feels good, loose, at ease. You walk over to the small kitchen area again. You're thirsty, and there's a ceramic pitcher of water on the counter. You pour yourself a glass and drink it slowly, feeling the cool water contrast with the warmth of the room. Then you notice something you hadn't seen before. A small wooden tray with a few simple foods. A piece of dark bread. A small wedge of cheese. A few slices of apple that haven't yet browned. Someone has left this for you, knowing you might get hungry. You realize you are a bit hungry. Not ravenous, but ready for something simple. You take the tray to the table and sit in one of the wooden chairs. The candle flickers gently between you and the empty chair across from you. You break off a piece of the bread. It's dense and hearty, the kind that takes time to chew, the kind that satisfies. The cheese is mild and creamy. The apple is crisp and slightly sweet. You eat slowly, mindfully, tasting each bite. There's no conversation to distract you, no screen to look at. Nothing to do but eat and taste and chew and swallow. It's remarkable how satisfying food can be when you give it your full attention. When you've had enough, not stuffed, just comfortably satisfied. You take the tray back to the counter. You drink another glass of water. Then you move to the window again. The northern lights have faded now. Or perhaps they've moved to another part of the sky that you can't see from here. The clouds have thickened, covering most of the stars. But it doesn't feel oppressive. It feels like the sky has drawn a blanket over itself, settling in for the night just as you are. The darkness outside is complete now. The window reflects the interior of the cabin back at you. The glowing coals in the fireplace, the candles on the table, your own silhouette standing before the glass. You look like you belong here, like you're part of this place. And perhaps, for tonight, you are. You turn away from the window and survey the cabin once more. Everything is exactly as it should be. The fire, though low, still radiates warmth. The bed in the corner looks inviting with its thick duvet and soft pillows. The candles burn steadily, their flames straight and still in the absence of any draft. This place has held you tonight. It has given you exactly what you needed: shelter, warmth, quiet, peace. And there are still hours of night ahead. Hours to rest, hours to sleep, hours to let go completely. You walk over to the fireplace one more time. The coals are deep red, radiating heat, but no longer needing tending. They'll burn slowly for hours, keeping the cabin warm through the night. You stand before them for a moment, hands outstretched, receiving their warmth one more time. Then you move toward the bed. The bed waits for you in the corner, patient and inviting. But there's no rush. Even now, even as tiredness settles more deeply into your bones, there's no urgency. You can take all the time you need. You walk over to the bed, slowly, running your hand along the wooden frame. The wood is smooth, worn by years of use, warm to the touch from the heat of the cabin. At the foot of the bed, those extra wool blankets are folded neatly. You pick one up and unfold it, feeling its weight, its texture. It's soft but substantial, woven in a traditional pattern of gray and cream. You drape it over the back of the nearby chair, thinking you might want it later. The bed itself looks perfect. The white linens are crisp and clean. The duvet is thick, filled with down that will wrap around you like a cloud. The pillows are plump, covered in simple linen cases. But before you get into bed, you move around the cabin one more time. A gentle ritual of checking, of saying goodnight to the space. You go to the fireplace first. The coals are still glowing, deep red in their bed of white ash. They'll continue to radiate heat for hours, slowly burning down through the night. You don't need to add another log. This is perfect as it is. You take the fire screen, a simple panel of iron mesh, and position it carefully in front of the hearth. Just a precaution, though the fire is well contained. Then you move to the table where the candles burn. One of them has burned down quite far, the wax pooling in the brass holder. The flame is still steady, but you decide to blow it out. You cup your hand behind the flame and blow softly. The light disappears, and a thin trail of smoke rises, carrying that distinct scent of extinguished candle. You leave the other candle burning for now. You'll need some light a little longer. You go to the window once more. The darkness outside is complete, but somehow not frightening. It's the darkness of a world at rest, of forests sleeping, of mountains standing their eternal watch, of the fjord breathing quietly in its ancient bed. You can see your reflection in the glass, ghostly and soft in the dim candlelight. You look peaceful, calm, ready for rest. You turn away and walk to the small bathroom area you noticed earlier. Just a door in the back corner. Inside it's simple but complete. A small sink with a mirror above it. The necessities, all clean and well maintained. You wash your hands in cool water, splash a little on your face. In the mirror, your eyes are soft, a bit heavy-lidded. Your face is relaxed in a way it might not have been when you first arrived. The tension has left your jaw, your forehead. You look like someone who is ready to sleep deeply, You dry your hands and face on a soft towel that hangs beside the sink, then return to the main room. The cabin feels even more peaceful now, if that's possible. The remaining candle on the table casts a small circle of warm light. The coals in the fireplace pulse with their deep red glow. Everything else is shadow and softness. You move to the bed and turn down the covers. The sheets are cool to the touch. That perfect temperature that will feel wonderful when you slip between them. You fluff the pillows slightly, adjusting them. Then you retrieve that wool blanket you draped over the chair and lay it across the foot of the bed, just in case you want extra warmth during the night. You're wearing comfortable clothes, the kind meant for rest, but you sit on the edge of the bed and remove your socks, wanting to feel the cool sheets against your bare feet. You fold the socks and place them on the small bedside table, next to the candle that burns there. Then you slide into the bed. Oh, it's perfect. The sheets are cool and smooth against your skin. That perfect temperature that makes you want to stretch out, to extend your legs fully, to let every part of your body make contact with this wonderful coolness. You do exactly that, pointing your toes toward the foot of the bed, feeling the sheet glide along your calves, your thighs. The duvet settles over you with exactly the right weight. Not heavy, but substantial. Comforting, like a gentle embrace that asks nothing of you, but allows you to simply be. You adjust slightly, finding the natural curve of the mattress, letting your body sink into the places where it wants to rest. Your hips settle. Your shoulders find their position. Your head nestles into the pillow, and you realize the pillow has already absorbed some warmth from the cabin air. It's not cold against your cheek, but perfectly neutral, perfectly comfortable. You lie still for a moment, just experiencing this. The contrast between the cool sheets at your feet and the growing warmth under the duvet. The way your body is held, supported but not confined. The softness beneath you and around you. Your hands rest on top of the duvet, near your chest. You can feel your own heartbeat, steady and slow. It's remarkable how calm it is, how settled. Earlier today, was it today? It feels like another lifetime. Your heart might have been racing with the business of the world. But now it beats with the patience of the clock on the mantel, slow, steady, at peace. You take a deep breath, feeling your chest rise and fall. The duvet rises with you, then settles again. Another breath, and another. Each one seems to take you deeper into this state of rest. You shift slightly, adjusting the duvet around your shoulders, creating a cocoon of warmth. Your feet have already stopped feeling cool. The sheets have absorbed your body heat. Or perhaps you've simply warmed them. Either way, everything feels perfectly balanced now. Through half-closed eyes, you can see the candle still burning on the bedside table. Its flame is steady, casting the gentlest light. You watch it for a moment, the way it barely flickers, the way it seems to breathe in rhythm with you. You could blow it out now, but not yet. Not quite yet. There's something comforting about its presence, this small point of light in the darkening room. The sheets are cool and smooth against your skin. The mattress is firm, but yields in just the right places. The duvet settles over you with exactly the right weight. Substantial enough to feel like an embrace. Light enough to let you move freely. You adjust the pillows behind your head, shifting until you find the perfect angle. Not quite sitting, not quite lying flat. Just right for these last quiet moments before sleep. From here, lying in bed, you can see the glow of the fireplace. You can see the single candle still burning on the table. You can see the window, dark but not threatening. You can feel the warmth of the cabin surrounding you. You can hear the soft, settling sounds of a house at night, the nearly imperceptible creak of wood, the whisper of heat rising, the profound quiet that underlies everything. Your body sinks deeper into the mattress, your shoulders release, your hips settle, your legs stretch out, your feet finding the cool spots at the bottom of the bed. You take a deep breath, in through your nose, out through your mouth, then another and another. With each breath, you can feel yourself letting go a little more. Tension you didn't even know you were carrying begins to dissolve. Your jaw unclenches. Your hands, resting on top of the duvet, relax completely, fingers gently curling. You think about the evening, the walk through the snow, the first sight of the cabin with its glowing windows, stepping inside into warmth, the fire, the tea, standing on the porch under the northern lights, the simple meal, the book. All of it has led to this moment, this perfect, complete moment of rest. Outside, the winter night continues. The fjord lies still and dark. The mountains hold their silence. The forest stands patient. Snow rests on every branch, every roof, every surface, soft and undisturbed. But in here, you are warm. You are safe. You are held. The bed cradles you. The duvet wraps around you. The pillows support your head perfectly. The cabin surrounds you with its solid walls, its warm air, its gentle sounds. You have everything you need. There is nothing to do. Nowhere to be. Nothing to think about or plan or worry over. There is only this bed, this warmth, this peace. Your breathing has slowed without you trying to slow it. It's deep and even, the kind of breathing that happens when the body knows it's safe to rest completely. Your eyelids are heavy now, very heavy. You let them close. Behind your closed eyes, you can still sense the soft glow of the fireplace, the candle. But it's distant now, filtered through the red darkness of your eyelids, part of the general sense of warmth and safety, rather than something to focus on. You're aware of the weight of the duvet on your chest, rising and falling gently with each breath. You're aware of how your body has settled into the mattress, perfectly supported. You're aware of the pillow cradling your head. And then, gradually, you become less aware. Not in a sudden way, but in a gentle fading, like the northern lights dimming slowly across the sky. Your thoughts, which were already quiet, become even softer. They drift past like snowflakes, appearing briefly, then dissolving before you can quite grasp them. An image, the fjord in morning light. Though you haven't seen it yet, it will be there tomorrow, waiting. Beautiful. Then that drifts away too. Another image, the fire, the coals glowing. But you're not seeing it now. You're remembering it. Or maybe dreaming it. It doesn't matter which. Your breathing deepens even more. The spaces between breaths grow longer, more peaceful. The cabin holds you. The bed holds you. The night holds you. You are so warm, so comfortable, so completely, utterly at rest. There's a clock ticking somewhere, but you barely hear it now. Just a soft rhythm, like a heartbeat, like the pulse of the earth itself. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Slow, steady, eternal. The coals in the fireplace continue their gentle glow, asking nothing of you, simply being, simply offering their warmth to the dark room. The candle on the bedside table burns lower, its flame steady and straight, casting the smallest circle of golden light that barely reaches you now, as if even the light knows it's time to rest. You sink deeper. The boundary between your body and the bed becomes less distinct. You're not sure anymore where you end and the softness begins. It doesn't matter. Everything is soft now. Everything is warm. Your mind offers you one last gentle thought. Gratitude for this place, for this warmth, for this safety, for this peace. And then even that dissolves, and there's just this being, breathing, resting. The winter night surrounds the cabin. The cold presses against the windows, but it cannot enter. The darkness fills the valley, but inside, there is warmth and light and safety. You are so deeply relaxed now. Your muscles have forgotten how to hold tension. Your mind has forgotten how to worry. Your body knows only rest, only comfort, only this perfect, complete peace. The hours of the night stretch ahead, long and generous. There is so much time for sleep, so much time for rest, so much time for your body to heal and restore and simply be. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to think anything. You don't have to be anything. You can just let go completely. The mattress supports you. The duvet warms you. The pillow cradles you. The cabin protects you. The night holds you. And you simply rest. Your breathing is barely perceptible now. Slow, deep, peaceful. The breathing of someone who is profoundly, completely at rest. The fire glows, the candle burns, the clock ticks. And you drift, not quite awake, not quite asleep, in that perfect space between, where there is no thinking, no doing, no trying, only being, only peace. The world outside continues its patient existence. The stars, hidden behind clouds, still shine above the atmosphere. The mountains still stand, the fjord still breathes. The forest still holds its winter silence. And inside this small cabin and this warm bed, under this soft duvet, you rest. Completely, deeply, peacefully. There is nothing to disturb you, nothing to call you back, nothing to pull you from this perfect rest. You are held, you are safe, you are warm, and you can stay here, in this peace, in this warmth, in this safety, for as long as you need. All night long. The cabin will watch over you, the fire will continue its gentle glow, the walls will stand strong against the cold, and you can simply rest, breathe, sleep. The night is long, the darkness is soft, the silence is complete, and you are exactly where you need to be, safe, warm, at peace. Let yourself sink even deeper now. Let the bed hold you completely. Let the warmth surround you. Let the darkness be gentle and welcoming. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to think about. Only this perfect rest, this deep peace, this complete safety. Your breathing continues, slow and steady, barely disturbing the quiet. In and out, in and out. So slow, so peaceful, so easy. The candle on the bedside table burns even lower now, the flames small and steady, asking nothing, simply being. The coals in the fireplace pulse with their deep red glow, warming the air, warming the cabin, warming you. And you simply rest. Let go of everything now, every last bit of tension, every last thought, every last awareness. Let it all dissolve, like snow melting, like clouds dispersing, like darkness fading into darker darkness. There is only in this peace, warmth, safety, rest. You are held by this moment, by this bed, by this night, by this deep, profound peace, and you can stay here as long as you need, all night, every hour, every moment, held, safe, warm, peaceful. Let yourself drift now, completely, deeply, peacefully, into sleep, into rest, into the gentle embrace of the night. The cabin watches over you. The mountains stand guard. The fjord breathes quietly. And you rest deeply, peacefully, completely. Sleep well, dream softly. And when you wake, may the quiet of the north stay with you.